Hi guys. Right, we'll get started with the homework from Monday. Yeah. So the profit and loss questions. Right. So question 4 says a product costs a company €10,250 to produce. Find A, the percentage markup, and B, the percentage margin. So markup, remember, is based on cost. Margin is based on selling. If the company sells the product for 15,900, answer correctly 2 decimal places in each case. I'm just going to highlight that so I don't forget. Okay. So, part A. So what's the profit, I suppose, first of all? It's going to be 15,900 minus 10,250. Did I say 5,000? 15,900, 10,250. So that's a profit of 5,650. For part A, we put the profit, 5,650, over the cost price, which is 10,250, and multiply by 100. Divided by 10,250 times 100. So to 2 decimal places, I'm getting 55.12%, and that's the markup. And then for the margin, same profit, 5,650, but this time you put it over the margin, the selling price, which is 15,900 to get the margin. So 5,650 divided by 15,900 multiplied by 100, and to 2 decimal places we get 35.53% margin. Okay, that's 4. Okay, so then we have 6. So 6 says, Derek bought a TV from a shop for €1,140. The percentage margin for the shop on this TV was 25%. What was the original cost of the TV? Okay, so that means his €1,140 that he paid was the 100% that it cost them plus the 25% profit margin. Sorry, I'm writing over here. So 125% equals 1140. And we want to know the original cost, so we want to know what 100% is. Yeah, so this is where we go back to 1. So to go from 125 to 1, we divide by 125. And then to go from 1 to 100, we multiply by 100. And we apply the exact same calculation over here. So 1140 divided by 125 multiplied by 100. And that gives us 912. Sorry, now I'm trying to figure something out in my brain. Let me just think for 1 second. Feel free to fast forward this. Whereas if I do sorry, what I'm thinking here is that it says that that price includes a percentage margin of 25%, not a markup. So the margin is the profit based on, like if you work this out, right? So say what I'm after figuring out now is that this is the cost. So if I do percentage margin, which is the profit, 1140 minus 912, so that's €228 that the shop made on it. And I divide that by, I'm supposed to divide it by the selling price, 1140, and then multiply that by 100. That only gives me a 20% margin, not a 25% margin. Do you know what I mean? But I included 25%, so I'm not 100% sure how I fix that. Right, let me just keep going. I think that is the original cost of the TV, but we'll keep going. In a sale, the shop manager decided to sell the TV at a markup of 15%. What is the new percentage margin? It just doesn't feel right. Hang on. The 25% is on their selling price. So is that what I'm after working out? I'm possibly just completely overthinking this and confusing myself. Right, let's leave that as A. I will think about this again when I get off this video. Okay, so if we take 912 to be our cost price, which I need to think about again. So 912 is our cost price. And we want to do a 15% markup. So we get 15% of 912. 15 over 100 multiplied by 912 is 136.80. We're going to add that on. So we get 104.880 would be the new selling price. And then the question asks, what's the new margin? So the profit, to get the percentage margin, the profit is going to be this from this. So 104 minus 912. So it is 136.80 over, because it's margin, it goes over the selling price. And then multiply it by 100. Doesn't say anything about decimal places, so 13.04% would be the new margin, is what I have. Okay, so part B, the process, the method. I say to you guys a lot, the method is definitely right in part B. That's what you do. So you add 15% onto the cost price and then work out your margin from that, which is your profit as a percentage of your selling price. But I think part A is wrong. But I'm not going to sit here and dither around with it. I will dither around with it off screen and I'll come back to you. Okay? Yeah, I'd imagine I'm missing something quite simple. Right, so last thing here in this chapter is compound interest. So we did this like last week, and I don't think there's much difference to it. I just for 4 years with a rate of return of 3.3%, find the value of the investment matures. Yeah, that's the same thing. Yeah, okay. I'll do the middle one just so that I did one. This here, remember that F is the final value. So that's what either the loan or the investment is worth after a given amount of time. P is the money invested or the money borrowed. Yeah. I is your interest. And remember, it has to be a decimal. And then zoom in on this a bit. T there is your time in years. So how long is the loan taken out for? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so yeah, I don't think there's any difference here between the ones you did before. This one looks like the most complicated, so we'll do this one. So Senan has €3,000 and would like to invest it for 2 years. A special savings account is offering a rate of 3% for the first year and a higher rate for the second year. Tax of 40% will be deducted each year from the interest earned. Okay, how much will be the investment worth at how much will the investment be worth at the end of the first year? Right, so we take our formula. We want to know what the investment will be worth at the end of the first year, so that's F. P is the money invested, which is 3,000. 1 plus the interest rate is 0.03, and we're just doing 1 year. So bracket, type that into your calculator, and at the end of the first year you get a final value of €3,090. Now that €3,090, given he started with 3,000, that is €90 worth of interest that Senan made on this investment. Okay, but he has to pay tax on that, so he's going to lose 40% of that €90 in tax. So 40 divided by 100 multiplied by 90, that's €36 that he's going to lose. So his interest is actually only going to be €54. Okay, so at the end of year 1, Senan will have his €3,000 plus his €54 in interest after the tax was paid. So 3,054 will be his end of year 1 money, and the answer to part A. Yeah? So Senan calculates that after tax has been deducted, his investment will be worth 3,145.62 at the end of the second year. Calculate the rate of interest for the second year and give your answer as a percentage. Okay. Oh, no room. Actually, I might just move it. Okay, so he starts year 2 with 3,054. And he ends year 2 with 3,145.62. Okay, so that's interest of 3145.62 minus 3054. That's interest of €91.62. Okay, but that's after the tax has been taken away. So that's actually only 60% of the money he earned in interest. Okay, so do you remember up here? If I go back up here, this number here is 40%, and that had to be taken away. That was deducted. So that left him with this 54, which would be 60%, which he got to keep. Yeah? So if he started the year with 3054 and he ended the year with 314562, that means he got to keep €91.62 of his interest. So that's 60%. So we can work out how much interest he got in total, as in the full 100%, before the government took any of it. Okay, so we want to know how much interest did he get in total before anybody took any. It's the same calculation we've done loads. Go back to 1. So we'll divide by 60 and we'll multiply by 100. So we'll apply the same thing over here. Excuse me, we'll divide by 60 and we'll multiply by 100. And that means he got 152.70 in interest. Okay? And they want to know, we need to calculate what rate that was. As in, so we know how much interest now, but what percentage does that number there represent? Okay, so he earned 152.70 of interest on, how much money did he take into the year? So that's how much money he started with. So we earned 152.70 on 3054. Oh, sorry, 152.70, 3054. So that gives us 5% was the interest for year 2. That second part was actually tricky. And not technically compound interest now, to be fair, but tricky. So the first part was just straight compound interest. The second part then, they told us how much it was worth at the end. So I could see if anybody was tempted to put that in for F, but what was complicating things was this tax of 40%. So we needed to deal with that first. Okay, so you can subtract them and work out the interest. So the 91.62 is the interest that Senan actually got in his pocket, but remember they took some of that. So that's 91.62 only represented 60%. We want to know what interest did he actually get from the bank before the government took anything. So we divided by 60 multiplied by 100 to bring us to 152.70. That's his total interest. And then we want to know what percentage is that. So he earned €152.70 on his 3,054 that he started the year with. To turn that into a percentage, you multiply by 100, and that gives us 5% for year 2. All right. So, like I said, I picked that because it looked like the longest. It definitely is the hardest. The first and the last one are really straightforward. But that's not complicated because of compound interest. That's just percentages. Like, that's just stuff that we've done in other parts in the chapter. So, God, sorry, this has happened to me in a few different classes now. It's annoying. I think we might try 8 and 11. Yeah. I'll put these into the journal. These are due for Friday. Now, I'm going to go back and have a look at that other one, that homework question that I'm just not sure about. If I don't send you on a second video, then you know I'm happy that I'm right. If I figure out what the hell something's bothering me with it anyway, and if I figure it out, I'll send you another video just explaining higher level conflict of interest. Okay. Yeah, so if you don't hear from me, you can just assume that I'm right and I was just having a moment. I just have a feeling like it's... Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. So yeah, I'll send you another video if I figure out what is going on with it. Alright, so let me know if you have any questions, alright? Grant, talk to you Friday.